What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dougie back once again, Winsburg Station. We're here with episode 5 of Birds and Bars. We're at Mackenzie's Pub, downtown Minneapolis. We're going to check out their smoked wings with Mickey Slimee. Come on in, let's check it out.
This is Winsburg Station.
Winsburg. All right, y'all. So here we are. We got our man Mickey Slimee. And what was this? We got the Kentucky barbecue.
Kentucky.
These are the smoked wings from Mackenzie's. What you think? Smell good?
Smell good.
Smell good? All right. So, I mean, let's just get straight to it. Let's dive in and see what's popping.
Yes, sir.
These motherfuckers look messy.
You got kind of like a maple.
Yeah.
Maple smoke type of vibe.
Yeah, you definitely taste the smoked flavor. These are smoked wings, by the way, if I didn't say that, but I think I did. You know, that smoked wing flavor is always hit or miss.
Yeah,
but
true.
I'm with it. So, let's just get down to it, bro. What's good with you, man? What you been on?
Man, I'm just trying to stay working, stay busy, stay consistent, you know?
Right, and I mean, you've been doing pretty well at being consistent since I met you, because, I mean, we go back, right? So we did, since a youngin', that was the first project that we did together, start to finish. Of course, I mean, it was never, initially it wasn't intended to be a solo Street Kid, at the time, Street Kid album.
Yeah.
But it kind of turned into that. And then after that, we did Band from the Industry.
Yeah.
And then after that, you kind of went off, not solo, because I mean you were never signed with like Initial Media Group or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. But you kind of went off working with other engineers, and you were starting to do Band from the Industry too.
Yeah.
But that never came out.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I caught a case. I caught a pistol case, and that's, you know, cases slow you up, man. The finances that you got to put into like really, you know, writing a serious case.
Mm-hmm.
It's some money, you know, and it's like sometimes you got to make a decision, like, you know, continue to pursue, you know, your dreams and, you know, go hard for your career, or let me get my personal life together, right, and then come back to this, you know, and that's what I chose to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. If you don't got your personal life and your affairs in order, it makes it hard to do all the other stuff. So, I get that. So, I mean, are you planning to ever kind of revisit and go back to that, or you just leaving that in the past moving forward?
Honestly, with the whole name change, I really pretty much scratched everything that was about or under the Street Kid, you know.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, just come back, you know, better than ever, reinvented, refueled, you know, re-energized. I grew my hair out, you know what I'm saying?
I saw that. You used to have the waves, and now you
you know, now my shit down my back. You know, I really just wanted to really just come back a totally different person, but still, you know, still me. It's just, you know, I got the name Street Kid in my projects at like 14.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a grown ass man now. A lot of
from it was Cabrini Green, right?
Cabrini Green Projects.
Yeah. Shout out Chicago.
Yes, sir. You know, if you familiar with, you know, the whole Candyman, you know, film, it's based in my projects.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, the whole Candyman.
Now I gotta go watch it.
Got to. Like, those are my buildings, you know.
So if I say Candyman in the mirror 5 times, I'm gonna see you?
No, you don't want to see me. You don't want to see me pop up like that. But no, one thing, growing up in our projects, we always knew that shit was fake, because we from here.
Well, right, yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like, the world used to say things like that, like, it was like,
Like you might probably prefer to see Candyman versus what you might see out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then it was like the whole Raper Man shit. It's like I've known things like that to happen, but our projects was one of those places where it's like women and kids was off limits.
Protected.
So yeah, so I don't remember any of my friends being taken and
Right.
molested or kidnapped or none of that shit. We all, unfortunately, pretty much seen the same fate, either jail or
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like, just being out here in Minneapolis, it seems like a lot of that, it kind of seems like in, I guess, every hood across the country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bring up the rest of the world because
Exactly.
Brazil's crazy as hell on its own, Mexico, wherever. But it kind of always seemed like women and kids were untouchable.
Yeah.
But, just how Minneapolis has been looking the last couple of months, it seems like people forgot about that. Like, unwritten rule, I guess.
See, one of the things that tie in with that is, I say a lot of people don't understand gang culture in the black community or urban areas, we can say. But it's like gangs was started to protect the neighborhoods. That was the first shit. You know what I'm saying? We police the police. That's what it was about. Then when politics and money came in, it became more about let's get the money.
Right.
And that's protect the blocks and the areas and the projects that we own, because that's where the money at.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if we want to go take these motherfuckers shit over here because they making money, go do that too and make that ours.
Right.
So that came.
It's kind of like the U.S. government.
Exactly.
In a
Literally,
sense.
that's where gangs really get a lot of, the things they do from the government. So even in those times, the second part of it, like when it became about the money, it was still about, ranks.
Yeah.
If I
Like the
got this
military.
area, exactly. If I got this area, nothing go on around here without me giving it the green light.
Right.
So imagine the government, police, whatever, taking all those people with the power to keep shit minimized. Even though it's a lot going on, but it's not what's going on today.
Right.
They take all of them and then just leave a bunch of motherfuckers out here that feel like shit we do what we want to do now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's literally the state we in now.
Mm-hmm.
It pretty much seemed like the same system
Yeah.
in every gang. It's like
Yeah.
they take the leaders and then leave a bunch of young wild motherfuckers out here to take their place who not ready to lead, or who don't know how to lead. A lot of these people don't know how to be a leader. It's not meant for you to be a leader. It's not meant for everybody to be like, oh, I'm gonna just take it upon myself to go do this. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got a job to do. Everybody got a role to play.
Exactly. There should always be a chain of command. So it's like it's just broken now. So it's just everywhere. It seems like it's the same. I got LA connects, I got Detroit connects, Atlanta, New Orleans. It's literally the same conversations, just different slang and lingo.
Right.
But it's the same. Even with the projects, the way that they think about the violence that come behind that. We're gonna take, say, one project building has 3,000 families in it.
Okay.
Just one project building. Imagine knocking a whole project building, a whole project complex, and just placing all these gangs and other gangs shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because where do these families go? They go in other neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the shit that started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's insane, man. But I think a lot of, I guess the point of rap music was, to share the story and then ultimately get out. But as you know, as anybody that tries to pursue a career in rap or hip hop music, that's hard to do. Especially when, yes, you're doing this to tell your story and eventually get out, but you have the rest of I guess the hood is trying to keep you in, if that makes sense.
No, it make a lot of sense.
It's like people want you to do good, but they want to do just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
And if they don't know how to do better, then they don't want you to do as well, right?
I mean, I agree with that, and especially with, I like to stick with what I know, you know, and it's like, I speak for black people, you know.
Thank you, because I can.
Exactly. So, and it's two different, you know, it's two different things, you know, so it's like, we always had like this crabs in a barrel type of mentality towards, you know, each other, and that go back like to slavery, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just always some hating shit going on, but honestly, I feel like that's life. You know, I feel like people that work jobs go through that same shit. You know,
always.
You know, so it's like you gonna have haters. You know, like the better you look, the better you work, the better your success is. It's gonna always be people hating on that.
Right. So it's just like, in a sense, growing up and dealing with that hood mentality is no different than, you know, me.
It's not.
Growing up in the suburbs, having to try to come up.
It's not.
It's just the obstacles have somewhat different outcomes.
Yeah, true.
And obviously it's easier for me as a white man to come up in the suburbs, you know, but still, ultimately it kind of comes down to there's the same problem, like I said, the same problems, different outcomes.
True.
True. Yeah, I think it's important for, you know, people to understand that mentality, because honestly, I feel like people in the suburbs, if they actually put the effort to see and take the time to like go to, like, if people from Edina took the time to go to North Minneapolis, they could see how different it is, you know, and ultimately, like, the majority of people, they're just trying to live, you know, they're trying to do what they gotta do to get out. The difference with Edina and North Minneapolis is Edina is out.
That's it,
you know
really.
What I mean?
One thing that I noticed about Minnesota, when I came down here, the hoods, or like the bad places in Minnesota, or the urban places, the shit wasn't nowhere near, you know, how I was raised. So I didn't really get it.
Like, what do you mean?
The actual neighborhoods, for the most part, to me, was still nice, thriving neighborhoods. Like, it's houses, majority. You know?
Oh, yeah.
There's not a lot of. There's no projects over north. You know what I'm saying? It's some bad buildings. It's a couple bad apartment buildings. But we talking about like a whole, like, community.
You're talking about like 3,000 families in one
yeah,
building.
you know, like it. And then it looked nice. There's not people just hanging out all the time. That was like the first things I noticed. Like, I looked for that coming from Chicago. Like, the gangs actually have to patrol the neighborhood. So we outside 24/7.
In Chicago?
In Chicago.
Okay.
Like, if we say 33rd and James is our block, anytime you ride through 33rd and James, that's where you're going to see us at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was looking for those type of things, and it didn't have that dynamic here, you know. Okay. So I'm only saying that to say, like, Edina and North Minneapolis ain't much different at all, besides the people and the opportunities that's given. You know, people from the north side, I feel like don't get the same opportunities as, you know, places like we just named. It's not the same resources. It's not even the same policing, you know, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously it's a lot different, you know, from like places like Edina, Eden Prairie, you know, so on and so forth.
Exactly.
I mean, you even look at Brooklyn Park.
That shit
and you cross, you know, you go down the street.
Yeah.
You know, Brooklyn Park is like 2 different cities.
Yeah.
Damn near, it seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're gonna see that kind of thing anywhere. I think the biggest difference, as far as like, you know, what you're explaining about Chicago versus Minneapolis, is the population.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, I mean, because Minneapolis as a whole, you know, downtown, uptown, south side, northeast, north, as a whole, Minneapolis, last I knew, at least last I looked at the sign when I'm driving into Minneapolis, says population 300 whatever thousand.
Right.
You know, Chicago, shit has got to be what, 4 times that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it
the
makes
whole Minneapolis is really like the size of one side. In
Right.
Chicago. Like we can say Minneapolis is just the south side.
right.
Type of shit, you know.
Yeah, and it's funny because I remember a couple years ago, back when it was the first year after the Timberwolves traded Zach LaVine to Chicago for Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
My wife and I, we actually drove down to Chicago,
Okay.
and we wanted to go to a Timberwolves Bulls game. We went for her birthday. I surprised her. It was a super dope trip. But you get off 94, and I don't remember what road you drive down to get into downtown Chicago. But for the most part, it's like blocked by the subway, I think. So you can only see, when you're driving in, you can only see a little bit of downtown Chicago.
Right.
And I remember I was telling her, like, because, you know, Asher had never been.
Oh,
Right.
so this is our first.
This is
time.
her first time even seeing Chicago. I told her, I was like, babe, this is crazy. And as we're driving, she's like, this looks like Minneapolis. And then we get past that subway station and we can actually see downtown. She's like, oh.
Right.
Why is Minneapolis so small? Like, I tried to tell you.
Right.
You know? And I mean, luckily for us, like, I had no idea. I didn't know shit about Chicago. But luckily for us, the hotel that I got was within walking distance of United Center. So we didn't have to go that far to see the game. But yeah, and that was my first time, like, seeing Chicago.
Oh, okay.
But I knew Chicago was big. Because, I mean, you got Kanye, Twista, Common. You got all these big name artists coming out of there. You gotta be big to have a Kanye type ego coming out of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Man, Chicago is a big, bold, loud place. Like
it's crazy.
I love the city. It was one of them places though where honestly I don't want to raise my kids there. So that's why
No, and that makes sense.
I just not where I'm from and where I was still gonna be, you know, where I had my kids was like not if I got the opportunity to, you know, be somewhere else with.
Right, and I mean with this day and age now, I mean Chicago's like what, an 8-hour drive?
Yeah.
What, like 12 hours by Greyhound?
Yeah, like 9 Greyhound.
9 Greyhound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not hard. It's not hard to go to and from, but also too with social media and how connected we are on the internet, it's definitely not hard to be in Chicago but be here, or to be in LA, you know, and whatnot, you know. So
I'm in Chicago all the time. I just keep it low, you know, and just go for what I'm going for. But I go home all the time.
Right.
More than people would think.
Right. I remember, man, when we first started messing around together, you had the crew Gunline Mafia.
Yeah.
But now you're actually doing, what is it, mafioso music?
Yeah.
But
Gunline
you're also
Mafia is still. That's always been like that was like a group of us, like a clique, you know.
Right.
And we've been Gunline Mafia since teenagers, so that'll never go nowhere.
That's family.
Yeah, you know, that'll never go nowhere. And the whole mafioso music was tying the Gunline into the whole mob shit. You know, like we come from mob shit, you know, Chicago.
Right.
So just tied in the mob with the mafia and put it together, cause gangs we used to call we never called ourselves gangs in Chicago. We was always mobs or nations. You know what I mean? So it was only right to do it with the music, cause I come from a real you know, like we all come from the same gang. So I felt like it was time for me to really get a music like all, like my whole story.
110%.
Yeah, you know, instead of like half-assing it. Am I saying too much? Am I giving them too much? I feel like as long as I just be me and just be honest, it ain't never too nothing.
Right. But and it's never. I mean, it's never been nothing for you to create. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I remember we was in the studio, and you know, you had written a song like while the beat was playing. You know what I'm saying? We were playing beats, and you're like, "Oh, keep this one on." Wrote a whole song, went into the booth, started recording it. Had a text message or something come through. No, matter of fact, it wasn't even a text message. He was on Facebook, posted a status, and I'm sitting here while it's recording in Pro Tools. I refresh my Facebook and I see a status from you talking about posted just now. I look over, you had just put the phone back in the pocket, and it was still going. Never messed up once.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was the moment that I knew. Like,
yeah, you made a status about that. Like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but you was like, yo.
But
like, be there.
But that was the moment that I knew. It was like, bro, if Buddy can stay out of trouble and does a couple of things right,
yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like with any breakthrough artist, it just takes one right move.
Yes.
And then you know, just staying consistent from there.
Definitely.
The consistency was never, I think, anything that I was worried about as far as you went with your career. Because you've been consistent.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I got 50 plus songs on my hard drive.
Exactly.
Of just you, which by the way, I gotta get all that to you before I move.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I got 50 plus songs on my hard drive of you. Half of them, you know, are two verses, just need a hook.
Yeah.
Or some of them are a hook and a verse, you just have to finish the second
yeah.
verse. Some of them are completely finished songs that we just scrapped.
Like, yeah.
So,
most of those joints have never been released either, so it ain't like I be recycling shit. Like I'm like a machine. I just be like,
yeah, no, I mean, I think out of the, and obviously I'm estimating 50, but it's around there. If it's not 50, it's more. Mm-hmm. Out of those, I think 17,
exactly,
maybe 20 were like actually dropped on projects.
Exactly.
So I mean, you got all that just material that could be recycled for later.
Yeah.
Or tweaked, fine tuned, and turned into something else.
That's a fact.
Talk to me, bro. Like, what do you got? What do you got coming up? What's next?
I got a lot coming up. I was taking my time because I wanted to. I really wanted to get like the label shit situation, you know, situated and, you know, the team. And now that that's together, I'm geared up. I'm about to drop Confessions of a Shooter. I'm real proud of this. Just the concept itself, the skits, you know, like I love it all. It give you like that. It's like that '90s album feel.
Okay.
And I think I found my way. I found my way with this one because now I see how I want to attack all my projects, you know, and I want them to all be like a concept behind it.
Yeah. Versus
just 16, 17 songs thrown together and let's name it straight out the mud, you know. I really wanna go at it with like an audio movie, you know what I'm saying? Like type shit. So
yeah, I mean that's the difference between albums and mixtapes. So I
mean,
I can't wait to hear it.
Still a mixtape, y'all. It's gonna be all original, but it's still just a mixtape, just an appetizer to you know, just to get it warmed up. I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna drop No Rats in the Trap on New Year's.
Okay.
And that's gonna be an all Memphis beat style type of tape.
Okay.
People say I got like a New York. I never really put myself in the category with styles, but people say like I got like a East Coast New York type of flow. So
I guess I could hear it.
Yeah, you know, that's what I hear the most. But I think
I never, not to cut you off, I never really thought about it. I could always just tell, like, you know, he's, because I knew like he's from Chicago through and through, but you know, he's rapping about the same stuff that you hear Chief Keef, Dirk, Herbo, all them guys rap about, but he's doing it differently. Like there's more cadence. You're on beat.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, like
it's actual bars.
There's songs.
Here.
Like there's full-fledged songs. To this. So yeah, I guess I just always assumed that you had that Chicago sound that Chicago wasn't ready for.
Mm-hmm. To me, it's just I just like to look at it as like it's like vintage. Like my favorite music is nothing that's out now. You know what I'm saying? Like still, there's albums that came out that still don't match albums from like 98, 99,
Right.
2000. To me, so it's like.
Bro, the 90s and early 2000s was...
It's a different vibe, you know?
It was an era. And they always say history repeats itself, but can that era please hurry up and get repeated?
I mean, I'm down for it. 'Cause
You know?
honestly, I check out all the music, honestly, whoever. I don't really like to speak on artists because I feel like that fucked the bag up. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. That's exactly why I'm not going to ask you where you draw your inspiration from, because
exactly.
we're talking about you, not them.
Exactly. So, just saying that to say, like, I listen to everything, I give everything a try, and I want to like it. It's certain artists that I just like as a person.
Yeah.
I want to like the music, but it's like, the nigga swag better than the music, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm really just, it's hard to really like, to hear an album or a mixtape. It's like, man, they got one. Like a full joint, not just a song or a couple songs.
Right.
But I fuck with Griselda. I like them. I like them guys.
Okay.
They be dropping some shit. So, Benny, Conway, Westside Con. You fuck with them?
I've recently started hearing about Conway.
Yeah.
I've known about Benny.
Niggas nice.
Mm-hmm.
Real shit.
Yeah, I've known about Benny. Obviously, some of the other big names out of Chicago. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, bro, like, I honestly, like, I'm not even, not to toot your horn, but like, I rock with you.
Man,
Out of everybody that I've heard in Chicago, other than, I mean, Kanye, obviously. But Kanye is like on a different level.
Yeah, totally.
Genius than fucking anybody can get,
Yeah.
But so I mean,
And that's that's years of working. Just years of working and being creative and not letting other people tell you no.
Exactly.
So I definitely big shout out to Kanye. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. All I do is rap, so it's a different feel for me. Like I never wanted to do music. It's like, oh, I need some money, or I always been getting some money. You know what I'm saying? Always, been flying shit. So it's like jewelry and all that shit. It mean nothing to me. This is the only way I vent. It's the only thing I know. I never played sports. I've never been on a basketball team, baseball team, none of that shit. Like when I realized what I wanted to do, with my life, only thing that came across my mind was music. Cause what I wanted to do before I discovered that, I was already doing. I was an active member, well respected. You know what I'm saying? Like those was my goals as a young, adolescent, misled. I was accomplishing what I wanted to do on the street, so nothing mattered. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna get 30 years at the end of this, and that was the saga. As I did this, and and now that's who I am. But when I discovered music, that completely changed. It's like, it's like everybody told me like I had the type of talent that could really put my city on the map, my projects on the map, get my people out. So I slowly started to take it serious. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's a different type of passion for music.
Oh, 100%. And I know for a fact, bro. Once you get your affairs in order, that kind of feature's coming.
Man, it's gonna have to. You're gonna have to see me, man. I'm gonna be one of the greats. I really feel it. I'm gonna put the same energy that I did in the streets into this, and I know I'm gonna be great.
Right.
I know I am. You gotta appreciate the, how authentic it is. Like this, I don't have no gimmicks. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have no, let me talk about a bunch of fake shit that I ain't never did. I'm really, really entertained. I mean, you know me personally, so you know a little deeper than the people that's gonna see this. But eventually they gonna see too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a real deal. Like,
Nah, 100%.
Get real active.
100%.
Real active.
So you the real deal. You're gonna be one of the greats.
It's a fact.
Can we say the same about these wings?
The
What
wings,
you think on a scale of 1 to 10?
I get a wings of 7.
7?
7.
That's fair. That's fair. I do say I like the sauce. I like the smoke. I'm not a big barbecue fan myself, and I don't know what makes the difference between the Kentucky barbecue versus the Carolina barbecue and whatever else it is that they offer.
Right.
So I don't know what makes it Kentucky. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna say a 6.8. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna say a 6.8. I'm not gonna go with a full 7.
Right.
Just because I have higher standards than you do.
Yeah, you the wing man. You know.
So, but yeah,
honestly,
very
I
solid.
feel like it was just missing a really good seasoning.
Okay.
You know, it's more sauce than seasoning that you taste.
Yeah.
And,
and I mean, they had the option. When I said Kentucky barbecue, he was like, "You want the habanero barbecue?" I was like, "Is that the Kentucky?" I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, no, the seasoning, 100%.
Yeah, cause that's like the foundation when you cooking meat. You know, the seasoning got to be together. I don't care what sauce you throwing on it, what you doing with it after, but seasoning that's the foundation.
Right. But these, the smoked flavor gives it that extra.
Extra kick for sure.
I think if they were fried, they wouldn't be as good.
True.
You know? So just like I said before, it's hard to make a good smoked wing. I think that Mackenzie's does a good job at doing the smoked wing. I'm curious about the other flavors that they have to see what the difference is.
There's quite a few too.
So I mean, I'm a little bit curious about the other flavors, but I think that you made a good choice selecting the Kentucky barbecue.
Yes, sir.
So other than that, let's go outside.
Yes, sir.
And spit some bars and see what you're really talking about.
Oh man, I'm definitely. That's what I'm here for. The bars, you know. So
the birds and the bars. That's exactly what we're here for.
Yes, sir. Mickey Slimee, Gunline Mafia. Shout out to my brother. This is my real brother too, y'all. That's my white brother for life.
White brother. Keyword.
Yo, I ain't with the rah-rah shit you niggas do for clout. If I got a problem, we gon' fix it, fight or shoot it out. Load the bricks on the U-Haul like I'm moving out. Up and down different interstates, I just maneuver routes. Sitting in a lot, backed in the Tesla by myself, but got a loaded Mac 10 with the suppressor. About to serve a half a brick to my brother, man. Was furniture shopping. I had him meet me at Slumberland, another band. Stangs lined up all night on Joyride. Slime got the best shit in the city. On the boys' side, just one hit. Got him itching and nodding. Stay out the way, stay off the phone. You know they listen and watching. Big knots, big rocks. You know they itching to rob them, but they heard about how I do and know that kid is a problem. No, that move is a death wish. Cause I'ma die behind these jewels on my left wrist and this necklace. No punchlines, my life too for real. The shit they rap about I do for real. I could get you shoot or kill. You would shut the fuck up if you knew the real type of nigga sign to catch a body. He just blew the deal. It's one thing I won't do and that's back down. I big spin, hit your block and come back round. I'm cooking up, I treat the booth like a trap now and murder niggas with the ink word the black child. Mickey Slimee, big old slime. Mafia Soul Music, GGE, Gunline Mafia, let's go.
And there y'all have it. My man Mickey Slimee. Always a killer on the mic. We don't worry about what he does outside the mic. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Check in with Mickey Slimee. Tell him where they can find you, bro.
Mickey Slimee, I got the new joint dropping on Halloween exclusively on my mixtapes, Confessions of a Shooter. Just get at me through there, because that's where I'm going to drop all the mixtapes exclusively on my mixtapes.
There you go. And for the rest of y'all, we appreciate y'all tuning in to these first 5 episodes of Birds and Bars. We're taking this across the Pacific. We're going to be filming more in Hawaii with the hip-hop scene out there. For the rest of y'all in Minnesota, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I apologize if I couldn't get you on an episode before we left, but we're coming back. So keep grinding because we're watching. Peace.
This is Wingsburg Station.
Wingsburg. Parmesan dry rub teriyaki. Getting saucy, loosen up the drawstrings. Wingsburg chop it up like karate, make it rain. Wet naps when we walking in the lobby. the miles off, so we do the kamikaze. Got them sweating bullets, ain't nobody gonna stop me. No milk, only beer we sipping. Captain Wingsburg, yo, respect the chicken.
Wingsburg.